Okay, in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to concatenate. The concatenate function provides an amazing way to save yourself tons of monotonous data entry. And many Excel users have told me that this is their #1 favorite function. So let's take a look how it works. So as you can see, we basically have our same list of sales reps with their monthly commissions, but what I've added in here is their last names. So we have two separate columns with first names and last names. And this is where the concatenate function becomes awesome. So if you had a list of these names that was 1,000 people long for an entire nationwide or global company, and suddenly your boss came to you and said, hey, you know what, this spreadsheet is not set up right. We actually need all of these names put together, first and last name, in the same column. You basically have two choices. You can go in and do it all by hand and spend 3 full business days doing that, or you can use the concatenate function. So to use concatenate, we're going to need a new column. So we're going to left click here, then we're going to right click, go to insert, and it will add a new column, one to the left of the column we were clicked on. So we click the equal sign, and we can just start typing concatenate. And this little pop-up just reminded me of something. See where it says join several text strings into one text string? Concatenate basically just means to combine or join. So we double click on concatenate, and now we're ready to enter our formula. Click on our first name, click Control and our second name, and then enter. And you can see it's taken Joe and Russo and put them together. Now we have one problem here, don't we? Our boss is probably going to want a space between these. So what we need to do is double click back in here and go back in between our two cells, and we're going to add a space. And the way you add a space is you do quotation mark, space, end quotation mark, and then we have to have a comma to separate it from the B2. Anytime that you're using text, you contain it within quotation marks so that Excel knows that it's text. In this case, the text that we're containing is just one little space. So we have our first cell, A2, which is Joe, comma to separate it, which basically means and, right? We have our second entry, which is a space, which is contained by quotation marks, comma to separate it, and then we have our third one, which is B2, which is Russo. So now when we hit enter, we get Joe space Russo. Then we click on that, grab the corner and copy it down, and we successfully have all of our names concatenated. So you can see how quick that would be, and if you have a huge list, it would be just lightning fast. Okay, now let me show you another way to do this. Actually, let me show you 2 more ways. One way is you can click equals, and you can either go to your drop down here and grab concatenate if you've used it recently, or you can go to your formulas bar, go to insert function, and find concatenate, which by the way will be under text right here because we are doing a function with text. But you click on that, select your first row, add your space, select your second word, and you can see that has the same formula right there, and it even gives you feedback here. It tells you how it's going to read when it's finished. Click OK, and we get the same result. And then finally one more. I'll show you how to do this by hand using the ampersand. So we type in concatenate, start it with parentheses, type A2, and then we can use an ampersand, which is the and sign or the shift 7 key, like that. So ampersand, then you enter your quote, space, quote, and then another ampersand, and the ampersand just means concatenate, and then B2, close your parentheses and hit enter, and you get the same results. And of course, grab your fill handle, copy it down, and then you can take your next 3 days off and go to the beach. So those are 3 quick ways to use concatenate to save you a ton of time grabbing information from different cells and combining them or joining them into one cell in a nice clean way.